You want to play video games? Fine. You can play for video games for 4 hours a day, but I want you to read first and do it for the equal amount of time that you play video games. So, lo and behold, my son became a good, fast reader, and so guess what he was doing? He's still doing hours of video games. He's read a lot. But it's kind of annoying when I give him a magazine article to read, and I'll look like an idiot because I'll be all, Junior, I told you, no, I'm trying to be like a jerk, but hey, come on, read that article. He's like, I did. I'm like, all right. And so it has helped, especially in a world where nobody reads anymore. Everything's multiple choice and scantrons and all that good stuff. I sound distracted because my navigation is taking me somewhere weird. In any event, I think reading is a key that will kind of set us apart, set your kids apart. Because let's face it, when they go to school and if they're going to do something in that that field that requires a lot of reading, they are going to excel. They may be behind in other areas, but I think that will get them to where they need to be. Hey guys, bingo sugar. Sugar tastes good. Problem is, it's causing obesity. It's linked to type 2 diabetes. So we switch over to artificial sweeteners, which at a certain level become bitter, and now it's linked to early dementia. In fact, if you're drinking diet sodas on a regular basis, you're 10 times more likely, studies say, in getting early dementia. So we have a sugar, it's called Next Sugar. It tastes great. It's as sweet as sugar. It's 100% on the sweetness index. Yes, there is an index for that. And guess what? It's half the calories, guys. You can bake with it, try it, get going, do your thing. Hey guys, how are you? In my opener, I have I think it's Al Pacino talking about just scraping and scratching and clawing to get to the next level. And my biggest I guess the thing that held me back from being like super successful monetarily was I was real content. So it's like, yeah, I tried to earn a living, but I think if somebody's more driven to make more money and to get a better lifestyle, they are going to be more successful. But in a lot of cases, they aren't going to be more happy. And I think either way, it's what we're talking about now is I guess it's kind of evolving into like relationships with people, just everyday people, and I kind of take note from a lot of super successful people, people that own not just car dealers, but like chains of car dealers, 20-something car dealers. And I get to talk to them in passing, and it's a lot of it is you're good with people at the onset, and then eventually as you get more successful, you have to adjust it. I think I just read a thing or heard a bit on Steve Harvey how to send a memo out for people not to speak to him in his off time, and I understand that because you get with his things it's sheer numbers. I mean, think about it. If there's at any one point these people know 1,000 people. I mean, literally not seen 1,000 people, know of 1,000 people. They have 1,000 people that can walk up to him and say, "Hey, buddy." And literally, they can't ignore him because they do run into him in life. And so one thing I noticed about the super successful, and again, I hate to use that term successful because if I'm happier and have less means, who the hell is the guy to say he's more successful when he has more means, but he's stressed out, going to die early and not happy. But the ones that are happy and have these big corporations, they come up to me and they'll say what they say. They have these limiters on what they're saying. They try not to get into a personal conversation. We will lightheartedly talk about stuff, but they have to do that. That's just the way they're wired, and that's a product of, when they say there's no free lunches. That is one of the expenses, is you cannot have these in-depth conversations as much as you like. Sure, when you're in the waiting room maybe or somewhere, they probably like to, but in passing, they're always going, and now they just want to decompress and no, there's somebody else coming to talk to them, and so I try to have my little attention knob adjusted right, and then readjust it for a different person. Again, I was talking about the elderly lady I was speaking with. I have that on, listen, and have a good conversation. I guess you always want to listen more. And then when I'm talking to the CEO, that it's just crammed. You kind of, some like to talk to me for great lengths of time because they know me, and for whatever reason they think I'm interesting enough to speak with. But then the ones where they're just like, no, it's not going to happen. This is what I want done. Checks in the mail. And I will hear from them when they complain. Obviously, it's like magic. They'll get a lot more time to speak. So that to me, by the way, is a weird thing. When you go to somebody's their business or home or whatever, and you're working for them, and they just get this magical energy when it comes to complaining about stuff. And I'm thinking, it could literally be, you left a slider door open, but the sliding glass was closed, but the sliding door was open. And do you know that you should, blah, blah, blah. If I would have opened it, and not paid attention, my cat would have got, and they go on and on and on. And I'm just thinking, where is this? It's like a nuclear reactor, and the energy just keeps on coming. And it's always weird things. And what I realize is a lot of these people that complain, they're just complainers. They got to complain about something, and they know that they're off, and I think they don't like that about themselves. But the fact that you could just sit there and hear it and say, all right, you know what, my apologies, is a testament to them, because they think, wait a minute, most people are talking back at this point, or giving me excuses, or blah, blah, blah. This person's just saying, my bad, sorry, we'll fix it in the future. And they'll always come around. It's not like they're going to hate you, not talk to you. It's just they want to complain. And the fact that you took it like a soldier, makes it easier for next time, because they do have that appreciation that you kind of dealt with their problem. At that point, you're almost like a counselor, in my opinion. So, but that is one good way to grow your business, though, is how you handle complaints. And I tell people, I say, look, especially if I do a big, I don't make a lot of big mistakes because I'm very conscientious. Oh gosh, here we go again. Once I start down this road, okay. My blood sugar's high, I get cotton mouth, and public school. So pick your excuse. Conscientious. Okay. The English major in me is non-existent, nor is the math or science. Maybe a little bit of history if I'm on a good day. Conscientious. Maybe we should take a break, and I will go take a Hooked on Phonics class. How many people are right now? Well, it's not a lot of people listening, but if this was a national show, would be just like moving their lips in frustration right now. People are well aware of, that they have these issues, and when you address them as if, okay, here's the problem, I am, I did mess up. I'm aware that normally we do not try to do this. This was an anomaly. But if there's anybody that is not going to make this mistake in the future, it is me. So if you're truly concerned about this mistake, in their mind, they're thinking, I'm going to hire you again. It's not about the mistake. It's because the mistake's already done. And if they're going to go with somebody else, these people are smart enough to know that they're going to have to take a chance that somebody could do twice as many things wrong, where you've made this error, but you corrected it, you're willing to correct it, and then they're gonna go with you, and then they're gonna be happy as a clam. And people know the details. You could just raise that, bring it to their attention, and they will respond accordingly. And and in business, that's what it's all about. It's that's not to say that once you get going and you get a little bit busier, you want to treat these people that are constant complainers with all of your time, fix problem with all your time, because eventually it's the old 80-20 rule. If you got 20% of the people hogging up 80% of your time, maybe you need to agree to part ways with said people or refer them out. What I do is, like, if I have companies that do the same thing I do, and there's customers that I'm just kind of tired of, I just give them to other companies. Figure I'll let them suck the life out of their company. So, but anyway, I say business and business and relationships are interchangeable, but it's all about us having every advantage we have, because again, being successful is just being about a little bit better than the next guy. And while these things don't pay huge dividends in the immediate future, put them all together and we will be a step ahead of our competition. And that's ultimately, that's all we want. Is if we're bidding on a job, we want to be the one person that gets in there, is a little more convincing, a little more whatever we have to be to that person, even personal life. Let's say, or those of you that want to date, you just need to be better than the competition, even if it's a little bit better. But you're always looking for that advantage. And the thing of it is, if you aren't looking for those little things to get better, it's not like you're going to be a close second. If you're not wired like that, you may not even be in the game.